All right, and we're officially live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another exciting AMA session with the Chainreach Globals. We're thrilled to have you all here today, and it's a great pleasure to welcome 𝗖𝗛𝗔𝗓𝗓, Managing Director of Green Wealth Capital. So today we'll be discussing the vision behind Green Wealth Capital and exploring, the opportunities and challenges shaping the financial industry, and also learning more about the company's growth, recent development, future plans, and so much more if we have the time. So, Alina, thank you for taking the time to join us today, and we're excited to hear from your insights, learn about your journey, and give our community the opportunity to understand what Greenwood Capital is building. So, could you start by introducing yourself? Tell us a bit about yourself and how you got introduced, how you got connected to Greenwood Capital, and what you guys are basically aiming to solve in the crypto industry.
Well, I hope you can hear me well. I'm very excited about this chat. I'm 𝗖𝗛𝗔𝗓𝗓. I'm based in Switzerland, originally Russian and crypto native since soon to be 10 years. We started back in 2017, end of 2017, beginning 2018, when it was the first wave of everything going up and down right after. And in 2022, we opened 𝗖𝗛𝗓𝗓 Capital. We got a license and slowly started to build our platform. We have never raised the external funds for our platform. There was not like anything traditional, what could be like STOS, ICO or anything. The direction, we were slowly building the product for our clients, for our friends, for our community that we have since like almost 8-9 years now. And here we are trying to solve the problem of bridging between traditional finance and crypto, when you can get access to everything, to all your consolidated accounts within one platform. To be honest, it works pretty well. And considering the fact that Swiss regulation allows us to operate with both digital assets and traditional assets, act as financial intermediary, escrow agent, and many other really, really cool things from perspective of financial product, it goes good. I mean, you should try it yourself. But I would say that if you ask me what would be my expectation from our call today, from our talk today, I would rather focus on the questions from you guys, whatever that can be. I'm pretty sure that you have checked our website, that you've checked our app. I think app is already available, but also the platform, web platform, and my profile. So whatever questions you might have when it comes to the Swiss anti-money laundering regulation, when it comes to our product, when it comes to literally crypto, because we work a lot with Asia, with the MENA region, and it's pretty different understanding of where the industry is at right now and where exactly do we go. So my wish, if you can say that, would be to build up our discussion in this kind of a chatting format. So whenever anybody has a question, just raise your hand and let's talk. And I will be very glad to explain things if something is unclear, or just brainstorm it together.
That's actually amazing. So let's talk about the Swiss advantage. So Switzerland has become like one of the most respected hubs for both traditional finance and blockchain innovation. So how has operating within that environment shaped the way the Green Wealth Capital approaches regulation and security, and also build a long-term trust with users and partners as well?
In Switzerland, there are two things which are very important. is stability and reputation. So Switzerland is the country which is extremely predictable, because when something happens, when there is a law that is taking place or in place or coming into force soon, there are certain steps of implementation. So there is no like unexpected surprise or unexpected turn. Or whenever you have a question to the regulator, you can always ask, and the regulator is openly helps you to navigate through it. And this is a big difference between the approach of Switzerland and many other countries, really many other countries. So it helps you to build up infrastructure that's not just compliant by law, but compliant by design, because you know how potentially it could go one way or another, where it's correct, where there is like, this underwater stone. And when you look at the regulation of Switzerland, it was one of the first countries which really developed the understanding of different security tokens, of how payment tokens should be regulated, which legislation is responsible for what regulation is applicable to crypto exchanges, or to security dealers, or to banking infrastructure. So we have the crypto banks, literally crypto banks. We have normal banks that have the crypto departments, and we have the crypto banks, which are native crypto banks. And this is incredible, because it gives you this whole scope of opportunities to work with. And it's not like experimental platform. I won't mention jurisdictions where it's like, oh, let's try this regulation and then see how it goes, see how it works. And nobody really understands exactly how to get approvals, or how to make yourself compliant, or what documents need to be done. And it's like a bit of a sandbox approach. In Switzerland, it's not. There is a quite good adoption of the crypto environment to the laws that already exist, and incrustation, I would say, of those within. So it's very different, and that helps a lot, because you can build your reputation regardless, and that's what you do, living in Switzerland, or doing business in Switzerland, or growing in Switzerland. But then you also have this regulatory approach that adds on clarity. So, I mean, I'm personally almost like ambassador of the Swiss culture and approach. I absolutely love it. And that's literally why we are regulated here, operating here, and continue doing so. I would say we have many companies in our structure. We host one of the biggest side events during the World Economic Forum in Davos. And we do literally different things for our network, with our network, and it all based and comes from Switzerland for a reason.
That's amazing. That's really amazing. Just one question before I head on to the next question. Do you really support the joining of normal crypto to normal banks? Do you support that?
Say it again, please. I don't think I fully understood the question.
Do you kind of like support the joining of crypto banks, normal banks and normal crypto, like the joining of banks and crypto together?
Well, I think there are like two answers to this question. So first answer is, in Switzerland, there are crypto banks and normal banks that have the crypto departments and understanding of crypto, and they can work with it anyways because they're banks, but they add on crypto as the currencies or a custody or whatever. From our side, we're not a bank, but within our license, we operate with both fiat and cryptocurrencies. We have consolidated accounts. We can issue the IBANs for our clients, and then you can, within our system, exchange between. You can initiate orders. You can literally operate within our infrastructure for you.
All right. Thanks for clarifying that. So let's talk about the cross-border transactions and escrow. So international transactions obviously are often slow and also expensive and complicated. So how does like Greenwood Capital makes that process easier and more secure for users and businesses?
I don't know about easier or more secure directly for international transactions, because it goes exactly the same way. We have the SEPA, we have SWIFT systems that we work within. There is like no news. But what is different with Gather Capital is that you can see on the platform, on one platform, your different accounts, be it fiat or crypto, and see the consolidation between this. So you don't need to open many different platforms to understand what's going on your this wallet, on your that wallet. You can literally do it with one click, if you can say that. Because technically, it's different clicks, but it's within one platform, one window.
All right, thanks for clarifying that also. So let's talk about institutional adoption. So there's clearly growing interest from institutions in digital assets, but many still seem cautious about fully entering the space. So in your point of view, what are like the biggest concerns holding the institution back today, and how's like Greenwood Capital helping, to create an environment where they can participate with greater confidence as well?
To be honest, especially considering what was happening on the markets last week, to be cautious and to be careful is not a mistake. You do need to be cautious and careful, especially when it comes to high risk assets or highly volatile assets. What we do from our side, we provide certainty that we are here tomorrow. So yes, if you make the wrong transaction, that's on you. But if you are worried that your transaction disappears or the company disappears, that will not happen. And this is a big difference. So we are here since 4.5 years, and we plan to be here for another 40. So that is important part. But yes, of course, and especially for institutions, or if you operate with big funds and want to mitigate your risks, choose the strategies that to do so. And with us, when it comes to, for example, escrow services, you can do escrow. Let me give you an example. If you know what is escrow, right? So when there are two parties, they want to make a big deal, they don't have enough trust between each other, they find this middle agent which handles the work for both of them. First, there is identification process, onboarding, and then one party, for example, puts the assets on the escrow, another party puts whatever other assets or the funds. And then when all the requirements are met, the escrow agent, with the acceptance and agreement with both parties, does the exchange. So, but both parties see that the funds or obligations are in here already without exchanging them yet. So what happens in traditional exchange? So there is just a bank or there is some infrastructure where the assets are there and you have a paper that the assets are there. What happens with us, for example, you put the assets, we convert it to crypto, we give you the address where the assets are. So at any point of time, you can see that the funds are still there and they're untouchable because that's independent on the fees, commissions, or anything else. So you always have the success. It's like a little window where you can see that, yes, everything's fine, it is there. And this transparency, that's literally what we love about crypto. We use for the benefits of the parties.
That's right. And I also think when it comes to loss of funds on a project, I think they should have probably like an institution or probably like a group of people who can help people revive their money back or something. I think it should be something that can be implemented or if it's already happening, that's also for that. And
I can add it here. I like your approach, how you're thinking. Here, what is most important and what many investors unfortunately underestimate is the due diligence part. And the due diligence, sometimes it's very difficult to do on your own.
Yeah.
Because yes, you see the person, yes, you kind of, okay, that's a nice person. Okay, that's a nice Telegram group. Okay, there is some community. Okay, there's a website. Okay, there's some kind of a team. And even if you double check all the team, it's still sometimes not enough because you need to see the documents, you need to have financial documents, you need to see the contracts, you need to check it with the lawyers. And what helps, in fact, is when you do the onboarding, not necessarily with us, with any licensed entity that does AML, and the entities onboarded with them, and you are onboarded with them, that helps you to prevent lots of blind spots, because that has to be checked. The founders are to be checked. The reputation is to be checked. The financial circumstances of people responsible of the company are to be checked, and so on. So this is something that is required for us by law, and then the company, the founders, would never question, like, why do you ask these documents? Because we have to know this. And it also protects the investors. Yes, the risk is still there. It doesn't mitigate risk completely, but it makes the due diligence process way more grounded, because there is a party that actually has the documents, check the documents, and stores it. And in case of legal law enforcement order, for example, these documents by the government can be requested. Of course, we cannot give it just to people, but if there is any legal procedures and the government enforces to share the documents, we have to do this, and we do.
Absolutely. I totally agree with that. And let's, without wasting much time, let's just move on to. I have a lot to say about what we're discussing, but let's just move forward because of time. And let's talk about connecting the ecosystem. So one thing that stands out about Green World Capital is that it is not focused on just one service. You're bringing together payments, banking solutions, local infrastructure, insurance, and digital finance on the broader ecosystem. So what does that fully connect? What does that fully connected ecosystem look like in the future, and why is it, why is that like important for you guys?
To be short, I would say the importance here is the comfort and the clarity, the user interface that allows you to have access to this all within one platform. This is the key point. The rest is just beautiful words.
Absolutely. So as the financial services become increasingly digital, so identity and trust are becoming just as important as the transactions themselves. So how do you see digital identity evolving over the coming years, and what role do you believe Green World Capital can play in creating a more secure and trusted digital economy, if you can have that?
To be honest, it's a great question, but the answer to that won't be short. Because when it comes to digital identity, the biggest part of it is the data security. And Switzerland has its own data protection laws and regulation, which is very separate and different. Not very different, but pretty different from Europe. And the whole information is stored in Switzerland, verified in Switzerland, and so on. So by Swiss law, even the signature services that we normally, let's put it that way, use, like DocuSign or this kind of things, are not exactly acceptable because there is different process and different data collection, data protection, and data storage requirements. So when it comes to digital identity from the perspective of actual digital identity, for the Swiss licensed companies, that kind of process has to be conducted in Switzerland within the Swiss laws. And that's not something that's happening right now. The digital identity protocols that exist, they are out of Switzerland. So we do not accept digital identity, which is produced, verified, or stored outside of Switzerland at the moment. But if there are any entrepreneurs and the founders within our community now, I would say this is a great gap to close, because if you come to Switzerland with such projects, that might have quite a lot of usage.
I agree with that, actually. I really do. So let's talk about, obviously you're building in the space where regulation can either slow you down or shape your direction. So have you had a moment where you like, this would work perfectly in the real world, but our regulations would never allow it yet? So how do you deal with that, kind of like frustration as part of the team member or as a builder?
We don't have this problem because we have, again, as I said, clear regulation of what's allowed, what's not. If we feel that something is not allowed, most probably that's because we are not big enough. For example, we don't have a banking license, so we can't store the deposits actually as a deposits. We cannot produce interest on deposits. So we cannot, these kind of things. We cannot give the bank guarantee for the deposits that is required. So if we feel that the regulation for us is too tight, that's a good sign, because that means that that's for us the next step to grow, and we know where. So,
no, I agree with what you said. I agree with that too. That's also a positive thing for you guys, for your growth and all that. I really believe in that. So let's talk about the future of finance. So if we were having this conversation 5 years from now, what major changes do you think we would have been seeing in areas like digital asset payment, tokenization, cross-border finance, and more importantly, where do you expect Greenwealth Capital to be positioned within that future landscape?
5 years from now, I think tokenization of real-world assets will be way more normal and common. This is something that's coming. And for us, that's also the next step, because to work with security assets, to produce them or sell them, that's, again, another type of license that we can and will acquire with the permission of the regulator. But from 5 years from now, I think that will be something like using stable coins for the payments now. Something like, all right, I have a share of this, I have a share of that, I have here actions, here obligations, here security tokens. So I would look that direction. Another thing which will be very common, obviously, it already is partially, but that will be completely on the mainstream, is payment with the cards with crypto. You can connect your card to crypto, you can connect your card to any assets. It's already existing now, but then it will be just normal. We pay now with the phone, and 5 years ago, it was less popular, let's put that way. And now I don't even have my cash or cards with me ever. And the same infrastructure, the same comfortability of usage of crypto or storage of your investments, or having all of them within one ecosystem or portfolio, that's, I think, something that's definitely coming and coming very quickly.
Yeah, I also agree with that. Also, yeah, that I think there's some countries that also they also have this system where they have this little card that you can buy. You can I think your driver's license, your ID, and every other thing you need to use that you normally use on your phone is in that card, and you can't basically buy anything. I think I saw it on the internet. I don't know if it's true, but I think I think it's wild, to be honest, and I don't know what country is that from. And that's basically how the level of innovation on the technology standpoint, people are really taking this whole thing too, and it's amazing at some point, and then it's a little bit I don't know, odd, to be honest, because it's just too fast. 70 years ago, we don't even have internet, I think, and within that space, within that time frame, we already start having this whole technologies and stuff, and now we have crypto, and crypto is evolving really too fast and all that stuff. So it's really amazing what's going on, and also scary at the same time as well. So let's also, this is gonna be my second to last questions, and then we're gonna take questions from the community. So
I would add to this, to your, if it's possible, one remark.
Yeah.
Now with the age of AI and raising of AI, we are facing, in my opinion, one of the biggest danger when we stop thinking ourselves, when we rely on somebody or something thinking for us, analyzing for us. And it will come more and more, and that's our nature to, kind of delegate and complicate things. But we should still try as much as possible, think ourselves, analyze ourselves, go into depths of things, and try to understand it as much as we can. It's good for the brain development, but it also will save you a lot of money and then prevent the mistakes that can potentially happen.
Yeah, absolutely. But kind of like low-key, I don't also support the over advancement of the AI industry, because they're now building robots to do people's work, and if they have too many robots to do people's work, people won't have jobs. And we're about 8.3 billion people on the planet now, currently, if you check it out. So where people are gonna get jobs from if there are 8 billion people, and the AI industry are growing faster and faster? They're literally building robots that are going to war. Not soldiers this time. It's now robots, and they have a controller.
Just to say, I really hate wars and people dying.
Oh, sorry. All right. Okay, so let's just. I'm just saying how fast this AI thing is really going, and basically it's just scary. So
that's a big conversation. But if people keep on thinking, if people keep on developing own skills, then I wouldn't worry that much yet. But we have to grow together.
They're doing it in China. They're creating new jobs for little kids. They're already doing it already. I watch it online every time. They're doing it in Japan also. I think a lot of us need to learn from that also, and also try to create jobs for people. So I see you guys hands I see a few people hands up, and then they took it back. You guys should just wait a few more minutes. I'm just gonna ask my last questions and open the session for the community. So looking beyond the headlines, so when people first discovered Greenwald Capital, they often focus on the most visible products and services. But from your perspective, what's like one of the one part of the ecosystem that you believe is currently underestimated and overlooked yet still have the potential to become one of like the biggest drivers of growth moving forward?
It's a tricky question. You asked me to choose one direction out of all what we do. We have these discussions like almost every day with the team. My opinion that escrow services and the combination of escrow with crypto, it's something highly underestimated, and that will take a massive place in the industry, and it's also quite a big portion of, let's put it this way, sleeping assets, so that the money that will work, and we can make them work in the meantime while they are in escrow. So, of course, with the permission and with all the acceptance from all the parties, we don't touch it ourselves. But this is something that I think is coming as a development for the future. And all the rest is pretty simple. It's already working, and cards, IBANs, international payments, domestic payments, crypto payments, conversions, crypto, fiat, buy, store, whatever you want to do. I think that's pretty simple.
That's amazing. All right. Also, have you guys done like merchandising for your project and all that?
Much what?
Merchandising. Have you guys done like merchandise for your project for Green Wealth Capital?
Yes, we're not like publicly, we're not yet advertising it that much. We are testing the platform, and we actually invite people to test our platform, give us feedback. We will give rewards for the feedback so that will help us to grow and improve it. So we are testing it. We have clients, we work with companies, we work with high net worth individuals. And well, I would say that we are slowly growing towards mass adoption, but at the moment we are on the stage where we talk more with people to see the feedback and to really make it comfortable for our users to work and for new ones to.
Yeah, I get it. I understand. So, guys, you can now raise up your hand. I can see Jonah Diha. I don't know if I spelled it right. Your mic is muted. But before we start for that, is there like anything within cover for during this time that maybe you want to bring it out there before we head on to the community question, like any other statement or anything?
Come test us. We want you to challenge us. But no, I think we covered a lot within such short time. Thank you so much for being so on point and structured. I'm looking forward for the questions from everybody.
All right. Your mic is unmuted already, Jonathan. You can ask your question.
Guys, hope you can hear me.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
So my question is, what's the biggest misconception businesses still have about crypto, and what do you think needs to happen before more companies start using it in their everyday operations?
The biggest misconception about crypto that it's black money. Most of the crypto are traceable, and to really do money laundering through crypto, you need to be an idiot because it's really traceable. There are only a couple of, I'm sorry for my language, guys, and to really use black crypto, something like anonymous systems like Monero, for example, that yes, but that's something that nobody from the regulated entities work with. When we work with crypto, it's the one that you can trace the whole history of and stop things that are illegal or were part of illegal activities. And I think that's brilliant. I'm anti-money laundering officer myself, and this is something that I deeply believe in. And I don't want to be supporting or involved in the scams of people who steal people's money and then try to launder it and then cash out and stuff like that. I think this is something that we as a community should stop, and we take our role in it. And one of the biggest misconceptions is crypto is comfortable for doing illegal activities. It's not. I hope I answered your question, and I'm sorry for being like emotional because it's really something that every day or many years through comes again and again.
Yeah, you answered my question pretty well. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for answering my question. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for your question, Jonas. I'm gonna pick Ramsey for a minute, but before that, let's take a few questions from Twitter. We got one question from Liam, and he said, uh, "From your experience, what region are showing the strongest demand for regulated digital asset infrastructure, and why?"
Which region shows highest demand? I think right now the problem comes in Europe, to be honest, because Europe introduced MiCA regulation, and it's united and de-united at the same time. And there are lots of questions, lots of unclear things for absolutely every player who is in the European Union. And there is a lot of questions that we receive that are coming from that side, because we have clarity and they're just building it up.
Yeah, that's really great. So let me get another question from Teddy from Twitter as well. He said, "What emerging technologies are you most excited about, and how might they influence the future of financial infrastructure?" Did you get that?
Technology, what technology are we the most excited about?
Yeah.
I think the technology which will absolutely change the world of finance will be quantum computing. It's coming. It will absolutely disrupt 90% of the crypto industry. Those who are not ready. And it will change the speed of transactions. It will change the speed of everything. And it's already happening. It's not something that's coming too far in the future. There are already testing computers. There are some banks that are testing it for the asset management scenarios or portfolio management, and showing incredible improvements and results. And this is something that I admire and fear at the same time personally. And I think this is the technology that will change the game.
All right. I hope maybe when he listens to the voice note to the live stream, he'll get his questions answered. So let's take Ramsey. Ramsey, your mic is unmuted. You can drop your question. Ramsey, you can click your mic and drop your question now. Ramsey, are you there? Can't even tell if it's connection issues or maybe should have. You can just tap your mic. Tap your mic. There's a mic in front of you. Just tap it. It turns green, and then you can speak. All right, let's move forward to the next person. All right, we have I got a question. This question, I should have asked this question during my question time, and we got this question from Charles Vince, and he said, "What safeguard has Greenwood Capital implemented to protect clients and transactions, and also have Greenwood Capital done any partnerships with any project in the space recently, or in its or is it currently in your roadmap?" That's from Charles Vince from Twitter.
About partnerships, we have not just like partnerships. It's usually the banks that we work with, that we incorporate within our system, like the Relio, the Swiss FinTech, or BCB, or Revolut, if you want. We don't do partnership for the marketing purpose. We do the collaborations of the systems that work within. When it comes to custody, when it comes to transactions, when it comes to IBAN infrastructure, there are different providers. It's public, it's all open that we work with. This is our priority number one right now. And then, of course, we can do also marketing activities, but usually when it comes to marketing, we don't go for partnerships, we go for events. We co-host them together with quite big players in the financial sector, and this is our approach.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's right. So let's okay, I got a message from Ramsey. She said she's gonna try again. She's having connection issues. That's why she didn't drop a question. So when she comes up, so I'm just gonna move on to the next question from Timothy Maybank. So he said, how does Greenwealth Capital simplify settlement processes involving multiple jurisdiction and regulatory framework? That's from Timothy Maybank on Twitter.
Regulatory framework is one. It's Swiss because we are a Swiss regulated company. If our clients need to be regulated somewhere else or are regulated somewhere else, they meet their own requirements with the regulator. For us, it's important that on our side everything is clear, and we check how compliant they are on their side preliminary when we do the onboarding, obviously. And when it comes to cross-border payments, we manage it with our great partners. I would say that helps us a lot to navigate within the space, to provide security of the assets and also traceability of the payments. There are no surprises. It's Switzerland, pretty predictable and beautiful by design.
Okay, that's amazing. So let's take a question. Let's take a I think Leon, the professional, that's Itachi. Your mic is unmuted. You can drop your question. I think it's the connection issues. I don't know what's going on. Leon, you can drop your question now. You can you just tap your mic. There's a mic in front of you. Just tap it green.
Hello guys, how are you doing?
Right, we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
it's perfect. Yes.
Yes, so I want to ask, security is easy to talk about when everything is running smoothly, but when deposit or an execution issue come up, trust is really put to the test. How does GW Capital make sure clients' funds and transaction stay products on these moments?
I'm not sure I understood your question fully.
You can ask it again. As if you have it right down.
I will put it in text, okay?
All right. So I think that is gonna be the end of don't see hands raising up again, so we're just gonna call it a day. But also I don't think I asked about if you guys already have like a community for like different languages, when people who aren't really can speak English, or they maybe different region, people can join in your community and also interact and all that. Have you guys also done that?
We have our community channels right now in English, but in our group you can speak any language. And within our team, we speak about 10 languages, I would say. And anything extra, we will find a way to communicate with you. Just come to us and we will talk.
Right, that's amazing. So, I think this is gonna be the end of today's AMA, and Alina, thank you so much for taking the time today to break down everything so clearly. I think what really stands out from this conversation is that Greenwealth Capital is not just building another fintech platform, but actually working on a much bigger picture around the infrastructure, trust, and global finance, and how global finance can function more efficiently into a digital first world. So we covered a lot today, from the original vision behind the project to the real world problems you're solving in cross-border transactions, escrow, compliance, and also institutional adoption. And I think with the community, what the community will take away most is not just what Greenwealth Capital is building, but why it's building, why it's being built, and the level of depth behind that thinking. So also I appreciate how openly you spoke about the challenges as well, because in this space it's easy to focus only on the highlights, but the real progress also comes from the difficult part most people don't really see. So thanks to everyone who joined in and asked good question, and engagements like this is what really makes this session valuable, and not just for learning but for building real connections between projects and the community. So Alina, we are definitely looking forward to seeing how Greenwealth Capital continues to evolve from here, and hopefully we'll get the chance to do another session in the future to track the progress and new developments for Greenwealth Capital. So for everyone listening, make sure to keep an eye on Greenwealth Capital, and if you have any more questions, you can drop it in the chat on their Telegram channel. They have a Telegram channel and the group as well. You can drop your questions there, and they'll get to you. So with that said, we'll bring this session to a close, and also thank you personally from me to Mariah. Mariah made this really happen. I reached out to her, and she accepted. So Mariah, this is coming from me. Thank you very much for making this happen. God bless you, and this is gonna be the end of it, guys. So stay safe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye bye, Alina.